Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about a few things. Let's dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first off, I want you guys to stick around until the end of this video where we really kind of address a few things. This is a must watch until the end type of video, and no, it is not for engagement purposes like my last couple videos. What we want to really kind of address in this video is not only where things are really kind of heating up in, but also what's happening around the world. So for the last couple, months, even years as well, like going back as far as like, COVID, that's when we did see the links weaken greatly around the economy. Currently, we are seeing a lot of problems arising overseas. We've been addressing this with like Pakistan, for an example, and before that, it was Italy as well. In Milan, Italy, for an example, they have bread lines, and a lot of individuals are lining up. So you can really kind of see what's happening within the structure of the global economy. Things are weakening, things are starting to collapse, and we actually do see over here. This is from Wall Street Silver on Twitter. Breaking, we are adding Indonesia to the long list of countries where social unrest is breaking out. Sky high, fuel prices and cost of living issues. The world is on the verge of breaking down. And recently, we have been really kind of seeing an implosion of the global economy, and things are getting a lot worse by the day. And this is not to, bring in a ton of like negative aspect around the current system. I just believe that we will see a 2008 crisis all over again. I'm all for, having this sort of opportunity within this market to buy things, at a cheap price. But we will most likely see a lot more pain going into the next few months. With, of course, crypto, it could very well have bottomed. We don't specifically know. I'm not saying that we are going to see a massive crash or anything like that. Personally, I'm hedged either way. I have my investment opportunities invested into. I also do have fiat on the sidelines just in case, we do see lower. But we have been addressing a few things happening around this, specific market as well as around the world economically. And I believe that what we are seeing is actually streamlining the adoption cycle of digitization within payments. In fact, we actually did see a full-on announcement from the ECB. We do see the European Central Bank will harmonize how banks offer crypto assets to ensure they have enough capital and expertise. I thought this was very interesting, right? Because as we really kind of look at the ECB, they have been looking at crypto for a while and more so kind of talking negative on it. Now, this did happen about a few days ago, 17 to be specific, but this got posted today, or it got posted a little bit ago on the 31st of August from Payments NZ. And this kind of talks about what's happening around crypto. They also do describe it as the Wild West still in this. But we do see several, crypto companies like Binance and Crypto.com have been authorized in the EU countries such as Italy, France, Spain, Greece, or Germany after complying with national safeguards to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. This comes ahead of Pan EU license enrolls from 2023 at the earliest. The ECB said banks were also considering whether to get involved in the crypto sector, but the national rules diverged quite extensively. In Germany, certain crypto activities are subject to a banking license requirement, and to date, several banks have requested to be authorized to conduct these license activities. Now, to me, I believe that we will see a huge move in this area. I think that we're going to see a lot of these banks, not only, accepting crypto, but also moving in on crypto activities in general. And I think that this is going to be the moment in time that really kind of changes the path and the trajectory of this market. A lot of these financial institutions are already kind of a part of some sort of aspect in this market. If you look at like a few of the ones up here, like Deutsche Bank, for an example, like Deutsche Bank has been connected with some of the major players in the space. Like we've talked about this even with like Zinfin or obviously like XRP, right? Hundreds of financial institutions have been flooding into crypto for years now. But just recently, I think that the entire BlackRock situation, as well as the market being as low as it is, we have been seeing a lot more adoption of crypto from the financial, institutional area and the banking sector. But the ECB is one to pay attention to, because also just recently, We did see a full-on update actually regarding Unicredit. We do see our Ripple partner Unicredit hosting Reinventing Bretton Woods Committee Conference September 23rd, 2022. This is from Matthew Linois on Twitter. Ripple has been discussed there in the past. Dozens of Ripple members are partners with Reinventing Bretton Woods Committee. And we actually do see over here a new EU, a new world, Rome and online September 23rd. Partners, CEP, Centers for European Policy Network. And also the host is Unicredit. And then over here, we do see a few things regarding this, the benefits and risk, what is the value proposition. Now, I don't think that they are talking too much about like XRP at all in this, but they are talking about like Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, adopting them, how they could help the unbanked, things like that, which kind of plays into exactly what Ripple has been talking about for the longest time. We also do see modernizing the banking sector. I do believe that the overall infrastructure of the banking sector and the financial sector itself will be fully revolutionized. But they do talk, they stress the idea of like a global regulatory baseline. I do believe that we will need that. I think that guidelines are a good thing. But a few of the major, players that are partners of Reinventing Bretton Woods Committee are on the screen here. Sorry, and we do see a few of them, right? Accenture is always connected, but you also do see like the Arab Monetary Fund, Banco Central de Reserva del Peru, IDB as well, UBS. A lot of these players are already a part of some other names that we've talked about on this channel in the past, like even Hedera and stuff like that. But these are the main ones that we have been looking at in regards to connections. And then over here we do see a few other ones as well. Reserve Bank of Australia, the World Economic Forum. There's a few other ones here as well, like the Bank of England, Standard Bank, which, by the way, the Bank of England, like they are fully ready to move in on, crypto. We just recently discussed that. And then down here, David Mills, member of the Reinventing Bretton Woods Committee. We need what needs to happen to safely and successfully innovate with CBDCs. This goes back all the way to October 14th, 2020, by the way. And this is what we have been discussing, for a while, is just like the reinvention of finance specifically within some of these major, areas, and the ECB has been one of them. And we do see here like what needs to happen safely and successfully to safely and successfully innovate with CBDCs. And here is a quote from David Mills from the Federal Reserve Board. Part of our innovation process is to understand how emerging technologies or technologies that could be used for central bank digital currencies tied to security, protection of data, consumer protections, and legal foundations. We think both on the technology innovation front and on the policy and business side front. And yes, this has been in the works for a very long time, and it is kind of centered around, CBDCs, and that is, of course, David Mills. If you go back into this discussion, David Mills down here is, labeled, and he is talking about central banks in modernizing payment systems and described the objective of the U.S. Federal Reserve Board as providing safe and efficient payment systems, expressed caution or cautious optimism that cryptocurrencies offered as an alternative to the current system of payments, but concern about the risk of non-bank actors would bring into the financial system. He pointed to Ripple, a dollar to euro encrypted foreign exchange network, as a positive example, but argued that more research is needed before considering government integration. And I do believe that we will see government integration of Ripple at some point in time, as well as even XRP as a bridge payments means, which we have been talking about for a little bit of time as well on this channel. But I'm very excited to see a lot of things like this actually coming to fruition. Definitely pay attention to September 23rd. By the way, this entire month has been one to really kind of focus on. Like, this is a huge month for crypto. And also, talking more so about the IMF as well within CBDCs. Again, we do see the number of central bank digital currencies under research and development has recently exploded. Get the latest picture on CBDC development in September's F&D issue. We recently kind of talked about this a little bit, but we didn't really kind of go in depth on it. But we do see here CBDC cultivation. Central banks are going through various stages of development to assess the benefits and risk of CBDCs to consider how best to deploy them. And we do see comparisons from July of 2018 to 2022. And you do see the significance of this. In just 4 short years. I think that a lot of people think that 4 years is a long time. In crypto, 4 years is a lifetime. We do see here, there was 19 plans around CBDCs back in July of 2018. In July of 2022, this year, there was 97. There was 2 officially launched, 15 pilots, 15 proof of concepts, and 65 researched CBDCs. This is where we focus on because you are seeing the major push towards CBDCs. And the IMF, by the way, pay attention to the IMF because we recently just seen that the IMF is exploring a central bank digital currency clearing and international settlements platform. Last year, an IMF official said a world with more than one reserve currency is a more stable world. Everything is falling into place. And talking about this, a settlement system is needed for all of these CBDCs. Got to remember, right, that you're going to see a significant amount of transactions flooding through these CBDCs on a day-to-day basis. We're talking trillions on top of trillions of dollars every single day. So you're going to need something that could provide the liquidity for all of these payments. On-demand liquidity as a service from Ripple with XRP really is probably one of the most revolutionizing things to, really kind of focus on. It is one of the biggest innovations within the financial sector to date that we've ever seen in history. I talk about this a lot, even going back to like the 1960s. Debit and credit cards. They look great on paper. And I kind of compare this to the digital payment apps that we have today. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. These are great, right? Everyone has probably utilized them in the last, 20 some years, whatever. But a lot of these apps, the problem that arises is the fact that it is a facelift to an ever failing and inefficient payment system. This is not full on digitization. This is not changing anything. What is happening with a lot of these digital payment means is very similar to what is happening with debit and credit cards. Pre-approved transactions. Nothing is being settled. Recently, I tweeted out saying, rapid transactions, which we are moving towards, we're moving towards scalability in regards to the transactional area, demands rapid settlement. How do you get that? You get it through Ripple with XRP. On-demand liquidity is such a big aspect. That's why I also say, if you wanted to cut Ripple out of the equation altogether, you can, and XRP still grows rapidly because the XRP ledger is the thing to focus on. CBDCs, a lot of CBDCs are being built out on, Ripple, or not Ripple, on XRP ledger without Ripple, for an example, right? Now, could they utilize Ripple tech? Sure, 100%. But I do believe that the XRP ledger is the big key piece of the puzzle. And we are seeing a lot of things, changing around this sector. Pay attention to the IMF. Pay attention to the ECB. The ECB recently talked about, crypto in a negative aspect, going back about, I would say 3-4 months ago or so. And since then, their ideas have changed. They're looking at ways to incorporate, crypto into their banking sector. We talk about this a lot because when you look at things happening around crypto in just the last couple of years, we've seen a negative aspect around crypto that has grown and grown and grown. And then all of a sudden, back in 2021, for an example, things rapidly changed. There is when, that was the moment in time where we've seen all of these negative comments turn into, all right, now it's the best time to look into crypto. You need to look into crypto. We need to adopt crypto. We need to do this. And now we're kind of seeing the negative push again on some mainstream media, channels like CBDC or CNBC, and Squawk Box like that from CNBC. And it's funny, right? Because you see a lot of negativity at the moments in time where you should be, not only buying crypto but hoarding it. And I do believe that going forward, we will see a major shift in this market to a bullish statement. Around the settlement or sentiment, not settlement, but we will see a settlement most likely by the end of this year, which is what I have been watching for. But I think everything around this sector is going to change greatly going forward. I think that we will see a lot more adoption of crypto in the banking sector, in the financial sectors as well globally, and we are seeing a major push in CBDCs, and I do believe that DLT will be at the forefront of that. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As is up to you all, have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.